Coogan Cassius, IFL TV, here in Leeds, First Director Arena.
ITV then?
What did I say?
I'm sure he said ITV.
IFL TV.
Oh, sorry.
We ain't the big time yet.
No.
With me, I've got the new European featherweight champion,
Yeah.
Josh Warrington. Well, he absolutely demolished David Dieli.
What am I doing getting a knockout? Old feather fist here. You know, he slipped, didn't he? I don't know, I just picked my shots a little bit tonight and it seemed to pay off. You know, I've set off a little bit too fast in the first round. Obviously, that atmosphere, you know, it maybe got to me a little bit, but I've been training hard and I've been working really hard. My strength's through the roof, my fitness is through the roof, and I knew I could set a decent pace, so I thought that I had to let him know that we're in for an hard fight and in the first round set a good pace.
The beautiful combination of punches that actually caused the referee to step in.
Yeah, well, that'll be something like you see on a Saturday night after the bar's closing, isn't it? I caught him with a nice combination to put him down, but then after that, I knew he would hurt, and I don't think he wanted to get up after that. But it was all about just catching another punch. But yeah, I can't remember. I'll have to watch it back. But I think it was bad Argy Bucks hit him and he's on his way down.
I know you're obviously grateful that Lee Selby vacated that title for give you the opportunity tonight to win it. You still had to go and do it, which you've done.
Yeah.
Would you say the gap is closing between you and Lee Selby?
Yeah, well, obviously, if he goes on to World, then where is he after that? He's at World. He's reached the top of the mountain. Then, after that, he's nowhere else to go. He's got to stay at top, and he's got to stop people from catching up to him. And I keep climbing up behind him, and if he gets to world level, then I'll be wanting a crack at his world title. So I'm hoping that he can go do business on next week and go on to get a world title, and he could have a big domestic showdown.
Got to touch on the atmosphere because it was absolutely incredible in there.
Not about boxing.
What's that?
You're not going to talk about boxing.
We'll go back to
I'm joking.
Go back to your boxing. But it was, the scenes. I was filming most of it when they was just all playing off their heads. But it must be just to walk out to that. It just must be give you more of a lift if you didn't need one already.
Well, my changing room was further back than it was last time, and I could hear them. So we had a playlist on it, changing room. But in between songs, I could hear just a little glimpse of what it was going to be like. And walking out then, I was looking up to the crowd, and I think, bloody hell, got to keep composed here, and walked at ring tunnel vision, but as soon as I got a ring and started acknowledging them all, it just really set in there like what kind of atmosphere it was. So my dad and Nick kept on saying to me, calm yourself down, don't get carried away with it. But obviously first round was a bit mental because I wanted to match the atmosphere, but yeah, something special. I can't thank everyone who bought a ticket to come to support us enough. Unbelievable.
People were getting soaked, and I heard Eddie Hearn say, I shouldn't really say this, but he said maybe it's just something we need to accept at Josh Warrington fight.
Yeah, I think
it might be just something everyone needs to just get used to.
That's a good thing, but if you fancy a bit of a blowout, come to a Josh Warrington fight, and you'll have a good time, and you'll get covered in booze.
Absolutely, it's all good fun.
Yeah.
You made reference there to your slightly underrated punching power that people had made reference to before, but your performances in the last sort of 3 or 4 fights have suggested otherwise.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, people have always said, since we've been at last year, Warrington won't go far, he can't punch, or he doesn't have the knockout power. He's boring because it tickles. Listen, from my first night onwards, my dad's always said, don't worry about it. It's all about getting rounds on that belt. And I've said previously, my career has not been boxing, Mexican road sweepers and Spanish waiters blasting them out. I've been boxing, some decent, genuine survivors who were journeymen, and you have your little tickle of them. But I've also boxed contenders who, like in my third fight, I boxed Danny McDermott from Leeds, who he was his second fight, my third fight, and he wanted to win. I boxed like Chris Riley in his seventh fight. He was like meant to fight Wendell Monroe, and went up to his backyard and boxed him there, and I think he won on his 7 fights and like half of them he'd won. So people who wanted to really win, and I've been a baby, turning over at 19. I'm still growing, I'm still maturing. I'm only 23, and now we are starting to sit on punches, and it's all right blasting out everybody, and then you get to the top level and you get exposed. I think your stoppages matter when you get to this level, and you look at last 4 fights, we've stopped 3 of them. So.
No, absolutely, 100% agree with you. Moving forward now, do you think you'll fight again this year?
Well, I've just bought an house, so I want to get that decorated and get moved in, so get Christmas tree up and that in time. But 3 fights this year, all big fights. I'll leave that down to Eddie, Steve, and my dad. They sort that out. Maybe get out before Christmas, but if not, it'll be early next year, I think.
You've got 3 belts to keep you comfy at night, and maybe an illegal 4th that you're not meant to have, the English.
Yeah, it's gone. Missing in post, isn't it? It's missing in post. I'm thinking about going for Central Area, to be fair, because I never thought box for that. So
just take everything. Yeah, you know what? You should move down south and go for the southern as well. Take the southern area as well. Get a Masters gold.
I might even think about going into that semi-pro. That semi-pro.
Clean up.
Oh yeah, just get it all.
Clean up. Well, John Warrington.
He's back. He's back.
John's back.
Yeah.
That might be a lucky omen for you, John Warrington.
Maybe. Might have to get out with shorts instead of Josh. We'll have John.
But listen, many a good champions have held that European belt, and I'm sure you're aware of that. So
belt, yeah, it's a beautiful belt. I'd just like to thank all team, my dad, Mark, Nicky, Frank, Steve, Eddie, Jamie, and Dom for walking us out to the ring tonight.
Absolutely. Well, listen, a special night here in Leeds, crowned by a special moment for you, so congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And listen, we'll see you when we see you.
Yep. You're off out clubbing now, Gogan.
Can't tell you where I'm going now.
Fair enough. We'll leave that alone.
We'll leave that alone.
Yeah.
All right. What's that? Oh, is that your missus there?
This one here, yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
Catwalk model.
It's a bit like, what's her name? Miley Cyrus.
That's why she took reference from the haircut. Are you off? Yeah, no worries.
Miley.
That's all right.
Cyrus.
I'll call you tomorrow. Dom, thank you. Thank you very much. All right. Yeah.
All right, Josh, thanks for talking to us, and have a good night anyway.
Just say what you say.
All right, go on.
Thank you.
Good.